It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Eno Safo, and this afternoon I'm here with
Charles Ozukumi.
The news is also live across our partner stations in the Western region. We're on Premier 100.5 FM in Takrade, Beach 105.5 FM also in Takrade. In the Bono region, we're on Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, Orange 107.9 in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're live on Akpini Radio 96.7 in Pando. You're also listening to us on Heritage 107.3 FM if you're in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we're on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In the Upper East, Word 88.3 FM in Zwarungu. In the Upper West, Westlink 88.1 FM in Lora. In the Northeast region, we're live on Eagle 94.1 FM in Wale Wale. Coming up, family of 34-year-old man whose death led to an attack on the Aswansi police station insists policeman handled him, leading to his death.
Right now, what we are seeking is that we want justice because we want justice. We don't know why that he arrested those who were not dead. They sent them to the police station and left him alone there.
Meanwhile, there's still heavy police deployment at the Aswansi police station. Also coming up, members of the Ghana Physician Assistants Association embark on a nationwide strike to express their dissatisfaction with the planned legislation that they believe will reduce their power.
So as it stands now, strike is ongoing for all physician assistants. Per the letter we received from today, tomorrow, and then Wednesday, OPD services are not going to be rendered by any physician assistants.
Still ahead in the bulletin, Office of the Special Prosecutor inundated with reports to investigate former Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Cecilia Dapa, over alleged stolen money. And later, residents of Adenta New Legon Baba down in Accra appealed to the government to urgently expand the bridge in the area to prevent unforeseen circumstances. All that and more on the Citi Prime News.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for choosing us this hour. Let's settle for the details of our stories. Let's go to the Ashanti region, where the family of a 34-year-old man, Salahuddin Tafilu, who died under police custody, is asserting that he was manhandled by police officers, leading to his death. This incident has resulted in an attack on the Aswansi police station by enraged youth who vandalized properties in protest. The police reportedly conducted a swoop in the area and arrested several individuals, including Salahuddin Talfilu. Salahuddin's lifeless body was later discovered, and his relatives are holding the police responsible for his death. A co-worker of the deceased, Thomas Apamsana, recounted the event to journalists, shedding light on what transpired during the police operation that led to Salahuddin's arrest and subsequent demise.
Can't just kill a cock and leave it alone and go away.
And so you have joined the family to seek justice for Taylor.
Not even I have joined the family. I am the one who's taking care of his father's work. Me, I'm a carpenter. I'm like a contractor.
Right.
So all the work he's doing, I'm in charge of it. So we are doing some work at a Jufu, and he said we should come and do some work in the house. So the son was helping us through the work we are doing. He's helping us. Yeah. So when you help us and waste some time, then he decided to go out and come. That was what the incident happened.
So as a family, what are you seeking?
Oh, right now what we are seeking is that we want justice. Because we want justice. We don't know why that he arrested those who were not dead. They sent them to the police station and left him alone there. Because all what we heard is that he is dead and he has been arrested. That's what we heard. We didn't know that he was even dead.
You heard a co-worker of the deceased, Thomas Apamsana. There's, however, heavy police presence at the Aswansi police station following the attack on the facility. Let's go over the phone lines and speak to Hafiz Tijani, our Ashanti regional correspondent, to tell us more. Hafiz, many thanks for joining us. Paint a picture of what is happening at the deceased family house.
So a while ago, the body was arrived was brought in here from the Konfano Teaching Hospital, and the family is currently preparing the body according to Islamic rites for the burial. But friends and relatives are arriving, but they describe this young man as someone who is calm, and they say he's innocent. Yesterday, when the police came here, a lot of people were trying to run for their lives, and he was caught in the melee. And though some people were arrested, but they do not understand why those arrested were taken to the police station, but he died and the police left him and went ahead with those people who died. And the residents here are not happy because they recounted an incident some years ago that police officers came in here and then shot a young guy in the same or in a similar manner. And they are saying that the government should step in and advise police officers, and the hierarchy of the police should come in, because this is becoming something they are not happy about. And they say that the police officers, when they come here, though they come on their normal operations, so they should ensure that whoever is picked up here from the community should be taken to the police station, and due process should be followed. And they do not understand why, whenever the police officers are coming here for such operations, a life will be lost. So that is the talk here among the relatives and the community members. And friends of the deceased are arriving here. Most of them are in shock. When the body was brought in from the hospital, a lot of people could not hold back their tears. And they are currently preparing the body to be buried. But like you said earlier, there's heavy police presence at the Asmasi police station since yesterday when the incident happened. We're told that some military officers also passed by in terms of patrol, just to avert any possible further attacks on the facility, as we saw yesterday in the evening.
Hafiz, tell us if the family allowed an autopsy or not, and if they did not allow for an autopsy to be done, how do they then conclude that the police are to blame for the death of their family member?
So when we arrived here, that was the indication we got from one of the family members, who said that the family has agreed for an autopsy, and they are still waiting for the final report from the hospital, and that the autopsy was supposed to be conducted before the body will be released to the family for burial. But we are not able to say whether the report is submitted to the family. We are waiting for that. They say they have to do the burial. That is necessary for now before they can relay any information from the hospital to the media.
All right, Hafiz. And finally, tell us, what are the demands of the family?
Justice. They say that the police should come out clear on how this young man died, because he left home some 5 minutes ago and went to the shop where he sat and was working, and later the police came in, and that resulted in his death. So they want the police to come clear. And even they say that the police officers, after allegedly manhandling this young man, left him at the place and did not take him to the police custody after they took some people away in their vehicles when they arrested them.
Many thanks for that update. Hafiz Tijani is our Ashanti regional correspondent. Charles?
Let's now go to the Public Accounts Committee. The Ghana Water Company Limited has expressed concern over the theft of meter components, which increases their operational cost and makes water supply to homes difficult. The concern was in response to a question by the Public Accounts Committee on reasons why the company recorded 1.8 billion cedis in losses in 2019. Managing Director of the company, Engineer Dr. Clifford Brimer, says plans are advanced to replace the meters with materials that are not valuable to the unscrupulous persons.
We are also now encountering some further challenges. Because people now vandalize them just because we have some brass in our safety valve. And that is the challenge in our business. Every day there is a cost that you don't anticipate. and it's put on your operations. So now people are breaking them. Just recently in Tema, 30 meters were vandalized and taken away. If you are lucky, they will take the brass and leave your meters for you to come and pick. If you are not lucky, they will go and throw you somewhere you can never find it. So you've lost water, you've lost your meter.
And if they leave the meter, can it still be used?
Yes. Normally they don't touch the meter. It's the safety valve where the brass is. They used to tamper with the meter, but we've decided that the suppliers, the manufacturers, use materials that are not useful to them.
Okay.
And they will change that. And then they've also moved to another material that they can use. So that's the challenge.
So, can you change that material also?
We are exploring ways of using fiberglass to do that, which is not useful to them.
Okay.
All this will build up our costs because you don't anticipate it. Sometimes that's the reason why we have this challenge anytime.
You heard the managing director of the Ghana Water Company, Engineer Dr. Clifford Brimer.
Still on the Public Accounts Committee, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust has assured contributors about the safety of their funds following confirmation that government has paid approximately 1 billion Ghana cedis captured in the 2021 Auditor General's report. According to the report, as of 31st December 2020, government owed the trust more than 1 billion Ghana cedis in respect of contributions from public sector employees. Responding to a Public Accounts Committee inquiry, the Director General of SNIT, Dr. John Ofori-Tinkrang, said government has now paid the 1 billion Ghana cedis arrears, but more than 3 billion Ghana cedis in interest payments remain outstanding.
We are in constant communication with the Minister and also the Controller and Accountant General to deal with this outstanding matter. The principal that was outstanding at that time had been paid. But the issue there is how they pay the interest and penalties. So that is a matter that we are constantly engaging the minister on. Thank you.
So for the principal have been settled?
Honorable Chair, for the principal for that period, yes.
So is the penalty, which is the issue now?
That is correct, sir.
You see, very soon I'll also be, maybe some 3-4 years, I'll be going on retirement. As I 2019 January up to December, I also contributed. It means that my account will not be credited.
Honorable Chair, your account is credited. In fact, the way we operate is that once your employer files with us that you are working with them, once they file the contribution report to us, whether payment has been made or not, your account is credited. The onus is on us as an institution to go and collect.
Okay.
And that is why they've given us Saturday courts and so on and so forth. So you will be paid, but the onus is on us and all of us to help in the collection, and we are committed to do so.
So if I come for my statement now, I will see the credit on my statement.
That is correct. Your statement will show that for this period you have been working, and this is your salary, and this is how much your employer has filed to pay on your behalf.
Okay. Auditors, can you confirm that the principal has been paid? The issue outstanding now is a penalty.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, between January 2021 and December 2021, the amount of 1,124,568,970.17 was settled. So what is outstanding is the penalty and the other charges.
You heard an interaction involving the Director General of SNIT, Dr. John Ofori-Tinkrang, Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, James Klucha-Veji, and officials from the Auditor General's Department. Moving on from there, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has initiated the necessary steps to investigate the source of over 1 million cedis that was allegedly stolen from the residence of former Sanitation and Water Resources Minister, Madam Cecilia Dapa. The OSP's action comes in response to more than 200 petitions received urging the office to launch an inquiry. According to a court document, 2 house helps at Madam Cecilia Dapa's residence are currently facing a criminal trial for allegedly stealing over $1 million from her house. In addition to investigating the source of the funds, the OSP is also seeking assistance from the Police Criminal Investigations Department to conduct a life audit into the activities of Madam Cecilia Dapa, her children, husband, and close relatives.
Now, inhabitants of Impasatia, the hometown of former Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources, Cecilia Abnadapa, say they are indifferent about her resignation as she has not used her influence to drive development in the area. The residents lament that despite the numerous challenges confronting them over the years, the former minister did not use her influence in politics to promote development in the area. Following Madame Cecilia Abnadapa's resignation over a scandal where her house helps allegedly stole over $1 million from her home, some residents in Impasatia even expressed excitement over the predicament of the former minister.
I know what you are talking about, Sister Dapa, sanitation minister. What is going on? For me, I live in this town. I come from here. I stay here. My mom lives here. My father lives here. I've been staying here for more than so many years. This woman became a sanitation minister since 8 years or 6 years. Yeah, it's 6 years or what? But bro, there's nothing this woman have done for us in this community in Besetia. Only just one thing or two things. This woman come and do some refugee piers, some kind of work, and this woman bring us polytank. The polytank, brothers and sisters, this one thing say we should we to inside the polytank and we should drink. Polytank there inside no water. Car from Kumasi to Besetia, Sefichini. No wagwan. But please, all I know how to say is that this woman, there's nothing this woman have done for Besetia people. Nobody who says something. Says yes. See around senior. There's nothing that I can show you say this belongs to Siradapa. There's nothing.
Yes, I'm more cry say we feel say grandpa and kinim Siradapa ya tidin issue na cost na yate ba yenim so free ekuru yimu. Yenim da yes bia mba obisa yes ho asema ki yenim kura so free ma. Ti sa bibisi yes dia me hu ne say scan de again why are there so fire. Because when my family boy kuru for na yet ya no boys ni bibiri school omunya adwuma nye nipa ba akofo na abo kuru ya na we scan when my boy yensu yenim ompo e ba na ka de bibia boy na bibisi yes an bia kasi bia nipa na anya ade and nipa no scan of fire cross ada wakobo odo nso na busuafo be yi ana omso omsa be call man tie de ye ni je won pa e me de say bibisi yes because me nim no kuru mu ada de me so betima ka fa ho ano next time so ye penny now is you be kan kuru mu for because ye yenim no be a me matena kroma bo ye wo me hase matena more than 25 years me ko 30 years I na matena sa akusku I use school I bia enye issue ye ba mo bo ni din na mo buy krampa mo bo ni din a nim ne so firi kuro yimu.
Those were some residents of Impasatia, the hometown of former Sanitation and Water Resources Minister Cecilia Abnadapa. The gentleman whose voice ended that audio, he spoke in Twi. He says that he's lived in Impasatia for the past 30 years, but never knew that Madame Cecilia Abnadapa was from that town. He also advised public officials to take Cecilia Abnadapa's issues and learn from it.
Away from that, tension is currently brewing over the prolonged traditional ownership of Akuapem Latte in the Akuapem North Municipality of the Eastern Region. A group calling itself Concerned Citizens of Latte Kubase accused the Ahenasehene Nana Esiedu Okun Abebio III of attempting to subdue the sovereignty of Latte Kubase. Addressing the media, the group revealed its plans to demonstrate during the 30th anniversary launch of Ahenasehene, which is expected to come off this week. Here's Kojo Aite Oredu, a member of the group, addressing the media.
We are issuing this caution in the spirit of our ancestors and the current chief of Latte Kubase, Enyine Otu Adinfran Desi, to Nana Esiedu Oko and his subjects, to desist from claiming ownership of Latte. We have history. The history is our root and must be respected by all and sundry. If there is somebody to be Latehini, then it should be a descendant of Enyine Brafo Esiedu, who gave the 30 tribes, now Ahenase, a place to stay, and also fought during the Akatamansu War in 1930, through which he got the title of Koji Afena. Now the name Adinfa, the Chidomino of Akuapem. We are here to tell Nana Esedo Kwabebio III to respect all traditional proceedings when dealing with any of our towns in Ekwiapim. Nana Esedo Kwabebio III, with immediate effect, should withdraw all invitation cards bearing the title Latehini sent out to invite people to his 30th anniversary launch. If not, we will demonstrate during the said launching to show our displeasure.
Kojo Aite Oredu is a member of the group calling itself Concerned Citizens of Latte Kubasi. Some residents in the area who have been speaking to City News want all relevant agencies to immediately intervene to prevent the situation from escalating.
I'm very, very worried. I'm very, very worried because in this town, we are very, very peaceful. Our coexistence has nothing to do even with this. The intermarriages that we undertake here has bonded us so much well that nothing can even separate us. But we don't want any form of malicious intent being peddled by this man, the chief of Ahenase, to come and then disrupt the already existing coexistence that we have. There shouldn't be any form of any quarrel or fight between us. But what we want is what is rightfully yours, take it, and what is someone's own should be remained or left for the person to also take.
To bring some form of disturbances, because this thing has happened before. It has happened before. During Nana Oketechiri reign, it happened. And this result to the Omahini, the case went to Omahini at Ekropon. That time it was Nana Adodankwa, the third reign. And this thing has happened several occasions. And this, when it happens again, it will result to a serious problem, and we want peace.
Those were residents of Ekwiapim Latte in the Ekwiapim North municipality of the Eastern region. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live on 97.3 Citi FM. Still to come, members of the Ghana Physician Assistants Association embark on a nationwide strike to express their dissatisfaction with the planned legislation that they believe will reduce their power. We'll bring you the details shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Ajwapa, what's all this condom business? Oh, I've told her over and over again that she won't get pregnant, and she's still insisting. Oh, isn't she the same person who said we would not have sex till we go out for at least 2 years? Eh? For all this time? Oh, and she still can't trust me enough? Ama, when I try to do something small, no, condom this, condom that. So handsome man like me, she probably thinks I have HIV.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner. Condoms are effective for protection against a wide spectrum of STIs and HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission.
Get ready to witness a remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services with the This is Ghana Exhibition 2023. Citi TV and Citi FM will allow you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services in the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors. Join us at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly on the 26th and the 27th of August 2023 at 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. Call us now on 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how to participate. The This is Ghana exhibition is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, we just received a press release from the Office of the Special Prosecutor which says at 11:55 GMT on 24th July 2023, Cecilia Abnadapa, who resigned from the position of Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources on 22nd July 2023, was placed under arrest by the Office of the Special Prosecutor in respect of suspected corruption and corruption-related offences regarding large amounts of money and other valuable items reportedly stolen from her residence. Mr. Pa is being questioned by authorised officers of the OSP, and it's signed Kisi Ejabing, Special Prosecutor, dated 24th July 2023. But away from that, members of the Ghana Physician Assistants Association have withdrawn their services at OPDs of public and private health facilities as part of roadmap to register their displeasure over what they say is the disrespect and an attempt to undermine their profession by the Medical and Dental Council. The decision, according to the group, follows an intercepted document on a proposed amendment of Act 857 under the Health Professional Body Act by the Ghana Medical and Dental Council, which they say will subject the profession of physician assistants to the direction and supervision of a medical doctor. The association is, among other things, demanding its members are removed from the cadre under the Ghana Medical and Dental Council. Joining me in studio is my colleague Shirley Zhu, who has been monitoring the situation in hospitals here in Accra. And many thanks for joining us. Tell us what the situation at the hospitals you've been to was like.
Thank you, Renu. So, I visited the Dabaka Polyclinic to see what or how the strike is panning out. So when I got there, we got to speak with the management, who said that we should check the OPD session. They were not willing to speak on record, so they just said we should check the OPD session. When we got there, we saw that patients were being attended to, but in the press statement by the physician assistant, they said they were withdrawing their services at the OPD session. So when we tried inquiring why people were being attended to, they told us that the nurses and the doctors were doing that job. So we then decided to go to other hospitals. We went to Ridge. When we got there, they told us that the work of physician assistants are mostly seen at the polyclinics and sometimes the district hospitals. So in the major hospitals, you really wouldn't see physician assistants there. So we went to Nima Polyclinic, Mamobi Polyclinic, and other polyclinics. When we got there, everything was going on smoothly. When we asked management of these institutions about the strike by the physician assistants, they seem not to even know that there's a strike going on. So from their explanation to us, they said that they just assist the doctors and then the nurses at the OPD session. So when we got there, the nurses and the doctors were seeing to patients at the OPD section. Even when you get to some of the facilities, the OPD section is not as crowded as you would normally see, hospitals having OPD sessions being crowded. So they were attending to people. There was the strike was not affecting healthcare delivery. Everything was going on smoothly at the places I checked in Accra. But after my checks and all that, we got to know that because we have a lot of nurses and doctors here in Accra, the impact of the strike will not really be felt here. But in the regions where some of these doctors and nurses would not like to be posted there, because the personnel, the numbers are reduced. For those regions, you would have the impact. You feel that, yes, healthcare delivery is being hampered because they mostly take care of those OPD sections and all that. Yes. But they said they are even working in the inpatient session, emergency and all that. It's just the OPD, and doctors and nurses are taking care of that. So in Accra, it's really not
being felt.
Yes.
All right. Many thanks for that update. And Shirley Zhu is my colleague here, and she has been round various hospitals in Accra assessing the impact of the Ghana Physician Assistants Association strike. They say they've withdrawn their services at OPDs and public and private health facilities. Charles has more on that.
Let's go to the northern region. At the Bimbila Hospital in the Nanumba North Municipality, Citi News discovered that the physician assistants are only attending to inpatients and emergency services. Until today, the physician assistants at the hospital were responsible for handling outpatient, emergency, maternity, and other medical services. However, due to the association's recent strike, outpatient services are severely impacted for the day. Speaking to Citi News, God bless Kwesi Busumche, the coordinator of physician assistants at Bimbila Hospital, called for patience.
We are on strike today. It's a nationwide thing that is going on for all physician assistants. The communique we had from our association president and then secretary, there are documents going around that's confirmed that we are supposed to be on strike today, starting from today until what we are expecting to see in the field of practice is improved. So as it stands now, strike is ongoing for all physician assistants.
So what are the areas that are going to be affected with this strike?
Per the letter we received from today, tomorrow, and then Wednesday, OPD services are not going to be rendered by any physician assistants. Then if things have not improved from Thursday, we are going to include emergency services too. That's what today, emergency services are running.
You heard the coordinator of physician assistants at Bimbila Hospital, God bless Kwesi Busumche. Now, to minimize the adverse effects of the strike, the management of the Bimbila Hospital has implemented certain measures. Dr. Barhama Adam, the medical superintendent of the hospital, spoke to Citi News.
We are going about our normal activities. As you can see, currently we are doing rounds, and after that we can continue with the OPD services. Okay, and we have also put in some measures to ensure that there's continual uninterrupted service delivery to our cherished client. So currently we have about 3 doctors on the ground. We have actually brought in another doctor to augment the services of the 2 doctors on board. So currently I think we are going about our normal activities. They are part of us. Okay, they mostly augment our work. So certainly their absence will have 1 or 2 effects, but we are also doing everything possible to ensure that our cherished clients are well served.
That was Dr. Barhama Adam. He is the medical superintendent of the Bimbila Hospital in the northern region.
In other news, personnel of the National Service Scheme have expressed diverse opinions regarding the recent announcement of an increase in their monthly allowances. The NSS management revealed that they have secured government approval for a raise in the allowances from 559 Ghana cedis to 715 Ghana cedis effective January 2023. The approval came after productive discussions between the scheme, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and the Ministry of Finance. While some service personnel appreciated the government's approval, others called for more significant improvements considering the prevailing economic challenges. Some of the personnel of the scheme spoke to Citi News.
Well, normally as a layman, we'll be happy, but looking at the economy, we find ourselves in dating the last time they increased NSS, that is about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and then the inflation currently, that is very bad. Working it out, we see that it's 26%. And when you do the calculation, I understand it is only 156 cedis that be added to the money. In Ghana, what can 156 cedis buy?
Yesterday, when the issue came out, when the press release came out about the increment of the allowance, I believe it's settled very well with each and every service personnel. I would like to use this medium to thank the government for listening to our plea and making this increment possible. We hope that we would get to see other possible future developments when it comes to the National Service Scheme.
Well, I think the government and the National Service Secretary decision to increase the 559 is a step in the right direction. Why am I saying this? Because our predecessors had to plead and what have you, but I think that this shouldn't even be a topic for discussion. Because I know most of our national service personnel will applaud government, for increasing it from the 559 to 715. And even yesterday when I saw the news, all jokes aside, I was happy.
You heard some national service personnel speaking on the increase in their allowances.
Now, the Bank of Ghana has tightened the monetary policy rates by 50 basis points, pushing it up to 30%. This was determined following the central bank's review of economic trends in the last 2 months. This means the cost of borrowing at banks has risen by 0.5% from the previous rate of 29.5%. Analysts predicted that the rate will climb marginally due to inflationary pressures. Dr. Ernest Addison, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, in his address after the 113th Monetary Policy Committee meeting, ascribed the central bank's decision to the rate of rising inflation.
Implementation of the IMF-supported extended credit facility program for the first 6 months of 2023 is broadly in line with the performance criteria targets for June 2023. While the program envisaged a drawdown in reserves of the Bank of Ghana of close to $100 million, the Bank of Ghana built reserves in excess of $1 billion. Bank of Ghana financing of the budget under the program is expected to be zero, and this has been met. Regarding the monetary policy consultation clause, inflation as of June 2023 was within the target band. After declining consistently between January to April, headline inflation increased in May and June on account of a variety of factors, including higher food prices, implementation of new tax measures, and utility tariff adjustment. Overall, inflation increased from 41.2% in April to 42.2% in May, and then further to 42.5% in June. Underlying measures of inflation have all ticked up in May 2023. While core inflation ticked up, business expectations of inflation remain flat at an elevated level. Although inflation is expected to decline in the near term, baseline forecasts show a slightly higher elevated profile in the year ahead, which, if not contained, would embed in underlying inflationary pressures.
That was the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison.
The mid-year budget review is set to be presented on Tuesday, July 25, 2023. The presentation is expected to shed light on government's fiscal plans for the remainder of the year and address measures to ensure economic stability and growth. In anticipation of the mid-year policy review, several key issues have emerged, providing insights into the direction of Ghana's economic landscape. The following news desk report has more.
According to the Bank of Ghana's summary of economic and financial data for July 2023, the nation's economy shows signs of stabilization. This encouraging development comes after a period of uncertainty and fluctuations, indicating that the government's policies may be yielding positive results. Noteworthy accomplishment for Ghana in the first half of 2023 is the attainment of a trade surplus amounting to $1.8 billion. The mid-year budget review is expected to prioritize policies aimed at securing economic stability and fostering growth. A key aspect of the mid-year policy review will also highlight various reforms, particularly the post-COVID-19 program for economic growth, designed to strengthen controls and institutions within the country. Specific areas targeted for enhancement include expenditure commitment control and arrears clearance, debt management, governance, tax policy, and tax administration, as well as energy sector and cocoa sector reforms.
That was a news desk report filed by Citi News' Edna Agnes Boache. Meanwhile, industry players want to know what steps the government will take to restore the country back to economic stability on the back of the $3 billion IMF deal and subsequent disbursement of $600 million. Citi News' Nashi Kasiza has been speaking with stakeholders in the business space about their expectations ahead of the mid-year budget review.
The Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, is expected in Parliament on July 25, 2023, to present the highly anticipated mid-year budget review on the economic policy of the government for the 2023 fiscal year. This crucial presentation aims to provide an update on the government economic progress, as well as outline any necessary adjustments to the budgetary allocations and policies. Seth Chuma Kwabwa is the CEO of the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, and he says his outfit is interested in knowing the measures the government is taking to ensure an alignment of its revenue with the IMF conditionalities to boost local industries.
we are mindful that MENT is very emphatic and clear on its revenue expectations and how it is going to mobilize the revenue in order to meet those targets that the IMF is advancing to continue without trade. So we are very keen on seeing how government revenues will align to those conditions. We expect that the plan for coming out of the IMF will already be factored into this and subsequent budget. What provisions in the budget has been made to support the productive sector or industrial sector of Ghana, such that the IMF aversion would resuscitate Ghanaian industry to make us more competitive and contribute more tax revenue and job creation in the near future.
On his part, President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Abin, wants the government to cushion the crippling business community to help them thrive.
Cost of doing business here is very high, and because of the excessive taxation that we are encountering. And so our major expectation is that government having come to realization that businesses are overburdened at this time to the extent that is impeding on our growth.
You heard Ghana Union of Traders Association President Dr. Joseph Obeng ending that report by Shika Caesar. This is still the Citi Prime News live on 97.3 Citi FM. Still ahead, residents of Adenta New Legon Babadown in Accra appeal to the government to urgently expand the bridge in the area to prevent unforeseen circumstances. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The system has nothing on her. Those in power fear what she can do. She is Madame, and she is here. On one hand, she's a humanitarian, and on the other, she's using them to seduce men in power for favors. Madame is a new drama series that explores the evils of an uncontrolled system where young women are exploited. Showing Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. on Aquaba Magic, DSTV channel 150 and Go TV channel 102. Stay connected on star 759 hash.
Get ready to witness a remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services with the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2023. Citi TV and Citi FM will allow you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services in the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors. Join us at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly on the 26th and the 27th of August 2023 at 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. Call us now on 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how to participate. The This Is Ghana exhibition is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back to the Citi Prime News. Let's do some more stories. The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority says it is working with the Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigation and Prevention Bureau to develop a policy to support accident victims in the aviation sector. The policy, when formulated, will ensure that accident victims promptly receive medical support and services. Speaking to Citi News on the back of the observance of Aviation Safety Investigations Day, Deputy Director General in charge of technical services at the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Daniel Akwas, says the policy will curb delays in supporting accident victims in the aviation sector.
Of civil aviation coming out with the policy is basically to facilitate the assistance that the airlines are supposed to directly give to accident victims. We can liken that to road accident. Every vehicle is insured, and with the insurance policy, it's supposed to take care of the accident victims. But we know that sometimes these things drag on. And most of the time, even the accident victims may have to take care of themselves and then later on claim, and it becomes a legal battle sometimes. So civil aviation is saying that we don't want such things to happen or to continue happening in terms of an air accident. So this policy will actually facilitate our side as a regulator to pursue or ensure that the airlines, carry out their mandate.
Deputy Director General in charge of technical services at the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Daniel Akwa. Meanwhile, Commissioner of the Banjul Accord Group Accident Investigation Agency, Engineer Charles Irikefe Erhue, says stakeholders will collaborate to ensure safety in the aviation industry.
Over time, there have been this involvement of carrying out accident investigation, and in the region, as far as the Banjul Accord Group is concerned, we've been able to upscale our that perspective. Recently, we just did IQ audit for Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone before now was having 0% in AIG, that is accident investigation, but currently, as we speak with you now, they have left 0 to about 45 or 50%. So that's what this is all about.
You heard the Commissioner of the Banjul Accord Group Accident Investigation Day, Engineer Charles Irikefe Ehue.
Now, residents of Adenta New Legon Babadown in Accra are appealing to the government to urgently expand the bridge in the area to avoid disaster. Citi News' Daniel Odro-Mensah visited the community and has come through with his report, read by Hanson Ajiman.
At Adenta New Legon Babadown within the Greater Accra region, there's a bridge which has had its edges washed by intermittent flood. According to residents, the bridge, which was initially very wide, has reduced in size, thereby resulting in an albatross for motorists and school children who usually ply the bridge to and from school. Some cars believed to be owned by teachers of a nearby school are parked away from the bridge for fear of getting stuck on it should there be rains. Citi News observed that occupants of the taxi cab had to drop off to reduce the weight of the vehicle to avoid the base from scratching. Citi News has gathered that some relevant authorities, including the municipal chief executive and the assembly member for the area, have been to the area to ascertain the state of the bridge, but that has yielded no fruitful results. Other residents, including Reverend Richard Amuzu, a resident who has lived in the area for 10 years, describes the bridge as a death trap.
It's a disaster, and especially with this bridge that is just before us, it's a disaster. When it rains here, the entire place is flood, and nobody comes, nobody goes, and this has been happening for some time, to the extent that we just have a school here. When it's about to rain, they have to dispatch the children home, because flood at this place, they cannot contain it and they cannot proceed with their teaching. So we are creating the indulgence that this bridge that is here is the flood that passes here is more bigger than the bridge. So if it will be reconstructed where the flood, the drainage will just have a passage, I think it will be equally good.
Eswa, ntinsuo no eba boom 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 boom. Due to the narrow nature of the bridge in our area, the entire place gets flooded whenever it rains, thereby restricting mobility. There is a school situated a few meters away from the bridge, which often would have to end academic activities to allow the students get to their various homes on time whenever pregnant clouds form. This is to ensure the safety of the students. We are appealing to the government to come to our aid. We need government to come to our aid as soon as possible by fixing the deplorable bridge.
The assembly member for Adenta New Legon Babadown, Eric Tony Blair, disclosed to Citi News that the expansion of the bridge has been awarded to a contractor who is yet to begin works.
The situation, we started working on it as far back 2020. That is when we started pushing. We've been to the assembly. I've been to the assembly. You know, I represent them. So I carry it to the assembly. The works subcommittee was here. The development planning committee was here. Even education committee was here because of the school. After that, I came with the urban roads engineer. The MCE himself was here about 5 days ago. So everybody is aware. And actually, I must be very honest with you, it has been awarded. But what the MCE told us, it has been awarded. We are just waiting for the contractor to move to site. And it has been awarded since March. We are just waiting for the contractor. We don't know what is happening. And I tell you, the problem Dustin is causing here is not easy. Just assume that you go to town and on your way back, it rained heavily. You can't cross home. The last time the MP came here, the water was on his waist. You see, it's a serious issue.
That report was filed by Citi News' Daniel Odro Mensah and read by Hansen Ajuman.
Away from that, the Deputy Minority Leader and MP for Elembele, Emmanuel Amakufibua, has described the deplorable state of the Takrade to Aguna-Nkwanta Road as an injustice to the people of the Western region. The MP's statement follows frustrations faced by motorists and residents due to the massive traffic caused after an Ivorian-bound cargo truck was involved in an accident at the Awusiju section of the road. The area is located on the Trans-West African Highway, which serves Ivory Coast. Motorists also, as well as bauxite and manganese haulage drivers who spent the night on the road, expressed their frustrations in an interview with Citi News.
3 days ago, 3 days ago, a vehicle fell on this stretch, and just yesterday, a similar incident happened. We have been complaining about the deplorable nature of the road, but nothing has been done about the situation. We are really struggling. Whenever it rains, we bear the brunt, and the roads also affect us. We have nothing to tell the government.
We want to vote during the raining season. We don't want to be voting when it's dry, so that we walk through the sun to go and vote. This period where it's raining and people are walking from Takrade to Aguna-Nkwanta is when they should bring out the ballot boxes for us to vote. Then we will see who will go and cast their vote.
You heard some frustrated motorists on the state of roads in Takrade. The Deputy Minority Leader and MP for Elembele, Emmanuel Amakufibua, who believes the situation is caused by the continuous haulage of bauxite and manganese by road instead of rail, called for government to fix the road to reduce the suffering of residents and motorists.
The money that we need for development comes from one region. Is it bauxite? Is it manganese? Is it gold? Is it diamond? Is it oil? Is it cocoa? I'm beginning to believe that you are actually punished for voting for MPP. Because you know why? Just go to Sekendi Takrade, through Ahanta, through Takwa. There are people who have been the brunt of difficult challenges since this government came into power. Nothing is going good for them. But what is worse is the heart of the road I'm talking about. This morning, as we speak, the Asijajo Bridge has been closed down because the bridge is broken. The road is basically not motorable. And we all know why. As we speak, the haulage of bauxite through heavy trucks all go through this road. And everybody knows that if that happens, no road can survive it. And so the only way you can do that is to make sure there's constant maintenance of this road. And none is happening. And I think I've heard almost everybody speak about it. But you pass through these roads and you ask yourself, why? When you invest in these roads in the Western region, you are not helping the Western region. You are helping Ghana. And in Ghana, if you want railway development to be solid, then you need to make sure that the Western railway line solidly stands so that manganese, bauxite can be hauled through that. It's the only way that makes passenger rail financially feasible. I think the urgency of the situation calls for the minister to immediately, this week, take steps to address the Takrade-Aguna Junction roads because it is hurting this economy.
Deputy Minority Leader and MP for Elembele Emmanuel Amakufibua.
The governing New Patriotic Party says all 10 flag-bearer hopefuls seeking to lead the party into the 2024 election will be giving the final album for the Special Delegates Congress a month to the polls. The party says this will allow the aspirants ample time to vet the album before the election. Speaking to Citi News, General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Kodia, says aspirants will also receive the album of over 200,000 delegates for the November election.
Yes, with respect to the album verification, we also made it known to the aspirant that this is an internal exercise by the National Party. And when this exercise is done, the album will be made available to the aspirants. In 2014, they were giving the album a week to the elections. But this time around, we want to give the album to them 1 month to the special college elections, so that at least they can go through where there are, if there are issues, if any, they can be able to bring it up. Likewise, the November 4 elections also. So this is an attempt by National Party to make sure that we have a free, fair, transparent, and peaceful election. So we can assure all the aspirants that there's no cause for alarm, and everything will be done in such a manner that will protect and maintain the peace within our party.
You had the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Justin Kodia.
Now, the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission says it is scouting for a vendor country to procure a nuclear power plant to commence operation by 2030. According to the Commission, five vending countries have expressed interest with regard to the procurement of the nuclear power plant. Speaking after the opening ceremony of an energy modelling training workshop, the Director General for the Commission, Professor Samuel Dampare, said discussions are currently ongoing with the vending countries.
As part of the requirements that if you really want to go nuclear, then you need an independent regulatory authority to regulate your activities and all that. So these are the steps that Ghana has been taking, and also has established another institution, a company called Nuclear Power Ghana, to see to the construction of Ghana's first nuclear power plants. So we have that, and we have Ghana Atomic Energy Commission also promoting. Ghana Atomic Energy Commission will serve as the technical support organization in all this. So we have an independent nuclear regulatory authority. We have this nuclear power gun, and then we have what they call GNPP, which is also, when it comes to this nuclear program and project. And
You heard the Director General for the Commission of the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, Professor Samuel Dampare. Meanwhile, energy systems analyst with International Atomic Energy Agency, Mario Todd, underscored the significance of modeling energy policies to guide nuclear power generation.
So we are all aware that energy is important for modern societies, and we see that in many African countries there are still problems in access to energy and also with affordability. So which option is the best? Which option is the cheapest for individuals, but also for industries, societies? And these tools are exactly intervening in that way. So they identify through simulation over a long term, like 10, 20, 30 years, then they identify which option is the best to be put into operation for the coming years. And based on this analysis, national teams can advise decision makers, ministries of energy, power companies, how to structure their energy policies and how, in which technologies they should invest. This type of the trainings also helps to understand what are the future energy needs.
Mario Todd is Energy Systems Analyst with International Atomic Energy Agency.
Now, General Secretary of the NDC, Fifi Fiavikwete, is appealing to members of the party to emulate the good works of the late President John Evans Atta Mills. Fifi Kwete made the appeal during the 11th anniversary celebration of the late President John Evans Atta Mills at the Asumdwe Park in Accra. Professor Atta Mills passed away on July 24, 2012, after a short illness. He passed while in office as President of Ghana.
And that's it for the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka here in Accra. My name is Inusafo, and I was here with
Charles Owusukumi.
For more news, do log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. Up next is the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News with Shika Caesar. Many thanks for tuning in. Do enjoy your day.